Hello, everyone, and welcome to CPC's online devotional for Wednesday, March 10. I hope that your week is off to a good start. I hope that you're well. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this time with me today. You may have heard of Henry Nouwen. Henry Nouwen was a Dutch Catholic priest and professor, a theologian, a prolific writer. He lived from 1932 to 1996. I want to share a reflection on one of Henry Nouwen's reflections. Henry Nouwen wrote so many things, and various authors have picked up on his writings and commented on them and expanded on them and so forth. And I want to read a brief devotional today from a book called Dare to Journey with Henry Nouwen. And this particular book is written by Charles Ringma as he reflects on various things that Henry Nouwen wrote about. But the selection that I want to share comes from my thinking about, as so many people are, that we're at a point in time now where we've been living with COVID. We're right at the 1 year mark now. And in fact, this coming Sunday, March 14, is the 1 year mark from the last time we worshiped together in the sanctuary, which was on March 15 last year. So a year. And I think there's much to be learned from this time. And also, we're thinking about going forward and what lies ahead. This little reflection I want to share with you talks about hope. Hope, future hope, and present experience. So, what is the role of hope in our lives as we continue to deal with COVID and move forward? So, listen now to these words. While our present experience is frequently less than what we would like it to be, we do continue to look forward in hope. We dream new dreams, we make new plans, we embark on new projects, we enter into new relationships. Even when our present experience has been difficult or disastrous or full of grief, we are usually able, after grieving through our pain, to live again. We may not live in quite the same way as before. Loss has a way of affecting us. It can narrow the generosity of our heart. It can make us too self-protecting and too careful. It can also make us complaining and bitter. But depending on our creative response, it can also make us more sensitive, helpful, and generous of heart. Part of that creative response is to continue to hope in the face of loss and difficulty. We can hope that there is a future for us, even though the present seems so dark. We can hope that our pain and difficulty are not the last word, for not only can our circumstances become different, but we can change as well. Henry Nouwen comments that a person without hope in the future cannot live creatively in the present. This does not mean that hope acts merely as a drug that numbs us to present difficulty because our eyes are on the beyond. In fact, the opposite is the case. Hope allows us to face the present, no matter how difficult our present may be. Hope helps us to see the present with new eyes, with eyes that see how things can be different. And hope can then propel us forward, for we see what we can be rather than seeing only what is here and what is now. I hope you find those words encouraging as I do. In some sense, I think we're surrounded by many hopeful signs. Certainly, there's hope in the progress with the vaccines and so forth. There's hope in how we have made it through this past year. There's hope in how we have learned new ways to communicate and go about our work and get along with each other. But we're not out of the woods yet. And that is a place where our hope can be reborn and nurtured and set our sights on the future, knowing that we do not walk this road alone, but with each other and certainly with God in our midst. So let me close now with a prayer from our Book of Common Worship. God of life, there are days when the burdens we carry are heavy on our shoulders and weigh us down, when the road seems dreary and endless, the skies gray and threatening, when our lives have no music in them and our hearts are lonely and our souls have lost their courage. Flood the path with light. Turn our eyes to where the skies are full of promise. Tune our hearts to brave music. Give us the sense of comradeship with heroes and saints of every age. And so quicken our spirits that we may be able to encourage the souls of all who journey with us on the road of life to your honor and glory. Amen. So thanks again for tuning in today, and I look forward to sharing our online worship with you this coming Sunday. In the meantime, please know that you are in my thoughts and in my prayers. May God's peace and blessing be with you all. Goodbye for now.